Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations 2. Prosecutors Gambit. I keep wanting to say gamble, but anyway, we are on Turnabout for the Ages, Part 3, I think. That last one was a doozy, huh? Well, let's see how more of that could possibly unfold. And go. Could you maybe calm down a little? Calm down? No way, Jose, not till y'all come clean. It's for your own good, dang it. Our intrepid reporters refuse to give up, even in the face of repeated stonewalling from the crew. Look, you ladies need to stop harassing these people, or I have to ask you to... You cops sure got a lot of nerve. Y'all are the ones who let the Saurus run wild. Hoping to hide the fact that they bred this menace themselves, the staff cling desperately to their story. Look, we're really not reading anything. This is a movie set. Says the gal who told me she done seen Gordy with her own danged eyes. Sure, I saw something, but that doesn't mean we're keeping monsters here. Alright, break it up. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth. And Sean. Y'all are on the trail this here monster infestation too, huh? No, we're on the trail of a criminal. Lang Z says, the darkness of a criminal's heart can sometimes be compared to a monster. That is to say, a killer is no different from a monster, really. Officer Lang, this is highly irregular, sir. You can't allow members of the public onto the crime scene. These people are important witnesses. I need them to be here. Oh, excuse me, I got some milk today. Okay. Well, Agent Lang, here we are. Where do you intend to begin? Let's start by summing up the facts. President Wang's body was discovered here this morning. He hadn't been seen since the night before last. Yes, he slipped off without his bodyguards noticing, if I remember correctly. So he was missing for over a day. And the last person to see him alive was you, Judge Cavale, on the roof of the big building. Ooh, he's sweating milk. This is not news. Why did the two of you arrange to meet? I'm sorry, but I can't say. Not even to defend yourself from an accusation of murder? Why? Why can't you just tell us? Please, Judge Cavale. We're trying to help you. Knock him back! She can't say because she'll only incriminate herself more. I know you had something to do with the president's murder, and I'm gonna prove it. Objection! You said yourself that the body was only found this morning. How do you explain the time that passed between Judge Cavale's meeting with the president and the... Knock him back! That's exactly what I'm hoping we're about to find out. I'm particularly interested in what happened last night. So why don't you tell us exactly how it all went down, Sean Fenn? Hey! We know you were here on the set last night. You were, Sean? We have testimony from the woman over there and forensics evidence from the footprints that proves it. You came back from your lines, right? What? You were spying on me? sorry. I was just making sure you were okay. It was late. I was worried about you. How many times I have to tell you? I don't need you to worry about me. Sean, that's no way to talk to an adult. He was trying to look out for you. Apologize this instant. Sorry. I've told you before, I won't have you speaking to people that way. Wow, this is a whole new Judge Cavale. It seems she's just as strict with her son as she is with those who break the law. Okay, I'm still... Listen. Look at this. Okay, so he's how old? And she's how old? Girl. So, full disclosure, I have played this before. And I remember that there is something else going on there. But it is... Her having a child at 13 is not possible, but not likely in these types of... Are you listening to me? If I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. You must... Ooh, she letting him have it. Ooh. Beat him with that hammer. And I want you to remember that, alright?
Knock him back!
We get on with the investigation now. Oh, of course. Forgive me. I'm so passionate about anything. I guess Judge Cavale, the mother, will take a little getting used to. Are we to understand that you're accusing Sean of being involved somehow, Agent Lang? I just want the truth. I need to know why the president was killed. And by who. And I don't care what it takes. I'm going to find out. It doesn't make sense for him to be so determined. The president was practically family to him. Alright. Sean. Sean, perhaps you could tell us what happened last night. Fine by me. I've got nothing to hide. Those eyes. He's got piercing eyes. They're just like... I had a bad day yesterday. I messed up a couple takes. We were scheduled to shoot the same scene again today. So I thought I'd put in some extra practice, and that's what I did. It's that simple. It's not like I haven't done it before. It was fine. Nothing happened. Been rehearsing late at night again? But when I called you yesterday evening, Sean, you said you were at the hotel. You called him? Around what time? Must have been 11 p.m. or thereabouts. Okay, I'm sorry. He is 13. 11 p.m. Probably a little late. Well, I don't know, because I was definitely still up past 11 at the... Like, I didn't have free reign of the city. It's one of our rules. When Sean stays away from home, we have to speak every night. Okay, good mother. Good mother. Yeah, well, I wasn't at the hotel. I was here on set. Ooh, you gonna get bashed your head in with that. So you lied to me? Sorry. Ooh, now she's mad. I think it's kind of amazing how hard he wants to work on his acting, though. Yeah, for real. Nonetheless, a parent can't help but worry. For a child alone late at night, anything could happen to him. And indeed it did. He got himself entangled in this case. But he said nothing happened, right? He did, although I can't help but wonder if he was telling the truth. He's gonna get punted later is what's gonna happen. I have a litany of evidence against this kid. I have a guide up over here, and like, it's like, present this, this, or this, and it's usually just like one thing.
Objection!
Nothing happened? I'm sorry, but you're lying. The model of Torosaurus's head fell from the roof of the trailer last night. Did you expect us to believe that you knew nothing about that? I don't know what you're talking about. Is that so? I told you. I ran my lines. I went home. That was it. What do I know about some stupid falling head? Or are you saying you can prove I know something? That thing. Entirely possible that the head fell after Sean. No proof, huh? Then this conversation is over.
Objection!
Oh, I should have read forward. If I present the head, I'll have to present one of the other 2 items. I could have just skipped this whole line of dialogue. It's fine. No, it's not. What? The head falling from the roof isn't the only strange thing about last night. And I'm certain you know what else I'm thinking of too. What other unusual occurrence happened yesterday evening?
Take that!
Footprints. This proves it beyond a doubt. Wait, how did you... That's right, your rehearsal tape. Yeah. What? You have video footage from last night? You do. If you watch it, you'll see that it was no ordinary evening. There's a footprint there already. And I'm not sure that's an everyday sight, even on a film set. Sean, why would you keep this from me?
Knock him back!
Liar. That stuff might work on your mommy, kid, but it's not gonna work on me. Why did you hide the tape? Sean, you have to tell us. You... Look, I just didn't want anybody to see me rehearsing, okay? I don't like it. I get that entirely. No, for real, like... When I'm practicing a song or whatever, I don't want anybody to... That's why, like... That's why I need to get a better soundproof. Yeah, because rehearsing, it feels different than actually performing. It's like, I don't know, it's like embarrassing. I feel this kid entirely. So you were embarrassed? Is that it? Yeah. What's so weird about that?
Knock him back!
Because he's 13. So there's like hormones like through. That's why you didn't hand over vital evidence? Sean, how could you? Yeah. Give me a break. You know about it now, don't you? Sure, the footprint was there, but I just ran my lines and went home. That was it. What, and nothing about the giant monster footprint struck you as weird? It's a giant monster footprint. Why the hell are they here? On the set of a giant monster movie. It's not like there isn't all kinds of other weird stuff around here. I don't buy it for a second. Chief, there's something hinky about the... Hinky. Wow, that's a word I haven't heard in a second. There's something hinky about this kid. Sure as I'm standing right here. Dang, Skippy. Oh, I cannot handle these two. Dang, Skippy there is. He's hiding a scoop under them there horns. Or my name ain't Lotta Hart. I'm starting to think your name isn't. Shut up, both of you. I'm done talking.
Knock him back!
Hold it right there. What is it, Agent Lang? That's just as I thought. Thanks, Mr. Prosecutor. This footage of yours backs up my theory nicely. What? There was something else on that tape? Yup, look closely. See the costume up in the top left? Source suit. Something's different. See it? Zipper? I'm not sure. He's just kind of hanging out and a little saggy. Yeah, this one has fur on the back. Oh, and the zipper on his back is done up tight. Okay, I'm starting to remember pieces now. Zipper. Huh? That's... Yeah. Guess you all see it now, don't you? On the tape, the zipper is wide open. Why? Because somebody's inside the suit, that's why. What? Mr. Powers, that zipper, what can you tell us about it? Oh, we always close it up tight when the suit isn't in use. Oh, to keep the inside from... That's right, Mr. Prosecutor. Do you remember something else I said not so long ago? Let me refresh your memory. What if your friend Gavelle pushed the president off the big building the night before last? He came down here to the movie set and hid the body somewhere. Here? But where? There's all kinds of stuff down here. Costumes, equipment. You could hide it anywhere. And then come back a day later, last night in other words, and take it out again. You're saying the body could have been hidden in the Torosaurus suit? That's exactly what I'm saying. Isn't that right, Gavelle? You pushed the president off the roof, just like I said. And you hid his body inside that costume. I most certainly did not.
Go back!
Protest all you like. I'm not going to believe you. You're the only person who could have done this.
Objection!
I thought we already proved that would have been impossible. The movie set was locked at the time. There's no way Judge Gavelle would have been able to get
Go back!
What if she had an accomplice? What? I got a little theory for you. I think you're going to like it. What if Sean was waiting down here when Gavelle pushed the president off the roof? If the two of them were working together, the problem of the lock goes away. They then work to hide the body together too, by dragging it over to the Torosaurus suit and stuffing it inside. You think the murder was really that carefully planned? Is the assassination of a world leader? It could only have been carefully planned.
Overruled!
To suggest that Sean could have been involved in this? It's unthinkable!
Go back!
You're my prime suspect. What makes you think I'm going to listen to a word you say? What about motive? What reason would either of them have to kill President Wang? Who knows? But we'll find out soon enough. She was the last one to meet with him, and she won't tell us why. Pretty darn suspicious, even you have to agree with that. Girl, you're gonna have to fess up. Judge Gavelle, I don't suppose I can convince you to share any more details. My apologies, but that is the one thing I cannot do. However, rest assured, should that ever change, you will be the first to know. So please, you have to believe me. Yeah, murders have a habit of saying that. What about you, kid? Any weak excuses to offer? If so, now's the time to get them off your chest. Ah, I've got nothing to say to you. I'm innocent. Both as tight-lipped as each other, huh? Let me guess. You're still gonna try and stick up for them? It's true. Judge Gavelle's actions certainly make her seem suspicious. But nothing she has told us amounts to a motive for murder, or even the suggestion of one. No. And like I said, I'm leaving motive aside for now. For the moment, I'm focusing on means and opportunity. And for my money, these two had to be working together for their little plot to succeed.
Hold it!
Hold it! The video footage doesn't show the inside of the suit. You can't say for certain that there was a body in there at the time, can you? Maybe not. But we can take a look right now. Let's open it up and see what's inside. I'd put money on us finding proof that it was there. Do you mind if we examine the suit, Mr. Powers? Oh, not at all. Might be a little bright, though. It gets pretty sweaty in there. Yeah. Huh. Filthy. Yeah, that's weird. I always clean it out pretty good. If you don't, it can get kind of moldy.
Knock him back!
In other words, what we're looking at is proof that somebody other than you used the costume. That dirt in there must have come from the body. Because the president was lying right in the middle of that footprint. I guess the president was lying right there in the middle of that footprint. He probably would have gotten pretty dirty. Exactly. Well, everybody happy? The inside of the suit is covered with dirt. It must be from when the body was hidden there.
Objection!
Oh, he got the finger. I love when he does the finger. So our assumption is that the inside of the suit is dirty because the dirt came from the body. Would it be safe to say that's the case? Why? Is there a problem? The part of the suit directly in front of the opening is particularly dirty. Dirty, dirty, dirty. Yeah, it really is. But look at the victim. The area of his body that would have been in contact with that part of the suit isn't dirty at all. If the victim had been crammed in there as you see chest, his chest surely would be covered in dirt. Okay, fine. So what's your explanation? How did all that dirt get inside there? Somebody inside that suit at the time. Who was it if it wasn't the president? Oh, God. Okay, think. Where was it? Something the matter, Kay? I've seen dirt like that somewhere else, I'm sure. I just can't think where. Dirt with weird little gray bits in it? Gray bits? She's right, there is something mixed in there. It was stuck to something else we looked at. Lots of it. Stuck to something we looked at? An item of evidence, maybe? Probably worth checking. Is one of the items we found have a similar kind of dirt? They're headed, yep.
Take that!
As Kay pointed out, the dirt in the suit contains small flecks of something gray. And we discovered similar flecks stuck to an item belonging to somebody we recently had dealings with. The item in question being these gloves. You're right, the dirt does look similar. But so what? What are you saying this stuff is? What exactly are these gray flecks of yours? I believe the gray flecks are... Surely they're flecks of concrete. Oh, like all the little broken up bits around the footprints. Exactly. And who did the gloves on which we found similar dirt and gray flecks belong to? Chairman Winter. We found them in his garage. That's right. We visited the garage at his home earlier today. And we found a pair of mechanics gloves covered in dirt. And if I recall correctly, a sledgehammer and a shovel too. Why would a pair of mechanic gloves be covered in dirt? I'll tell you why. Because somebody wore them while they used that hammer and shovel. They smashed through the concrete to the dirt below, staining the gloves with both substances. Wait, so you're saying... Yes, that we finally know what these footprints really are. It seems highly likely that they were dug by Chairman Winner.
Not so fast!
Highly likely? Ha! If that's so, then tell me this. Why the heck did he make them? What purpose could they possibly serve? Why in... I think he must have been digging something up. I imagine events unfolded somewhat like this. There was something on his lot that he needed to unearth. In order to do so, he cut the chain on the side entrance and gained access from there. Then he used the sledgehammer and shovel to dig the 3 footprints. Okay, we do not need to watch this animation. When he found what he was looking for, bagged it up, and filled in all the holes. Ah, but then Sean must have shown up, right? Must have showed up, right? I think he did, yes. Chairman Winner would have had to find a holding place, and Torosaurus suit provided just that. You got all that from a pair of dirty gloves? It's good, but it's all just speculation. You don't have any proof that he was inside that suit. You could have dug these holes and gotten out of here before the kid even showed up. But he didn't. There's proof of that right there in the footage. It shows that Chairman Winner was still present when this recording was made. What? Shame that Lang didn't notice it himself. But if we compare the situation as we see it now to the situation as it appears on Sean's rehearsal tape, and compare that in turn to what we saw in Chairman Winner's garage, it soon becomes clear that the chairman was present. What part of this image shows that Chairman Winner?
Take that!
Look at the bag next to the Torosaurus suit. We saw the same bag in Chairman Winner's garage. The same bag, the dirt on the gloves. That has to indicate a connection, surely. Why did he shape that to make him look like the footprints purposefully? You have like a fetish with lily pads. I think that pretty much seals it. It was Excelsius Winner in the suit. If he was in there, the body's president can't have been. Yeah! Good, it seems I've convinced of the flaws in this theory. Hold a little bit on that. Somebody get to Chairman Winner's house right away! We need to know what's in that bag. No, you don't. No, you don't. Yes, sir. Y'all done lost your minds? I can't believe what I'm hearing here. What is this hog swill? This is all we need. Then there's Torosaurus footprints. Dang it. And no holes dug by no old guy. Why is she here? Why have we not kicked them out? Like, these two do not need to be here right now. I think I've demonstrated more than adequately that that's exactly what they are. Don't matter to me none what you just did. I don't believe it, and that's that. Okay, then you can leave. Oh my god, I'm over these bitches. I done told y'all I seen that big bad bull with my own 2 eyes. The giant eye peering in at the window. The giant eye peering in at the window. I thought we'd gotten past that once. We ain't about to let that go. What kind of journalists would we be if we did? I don't know, but you two need to just seriously get the hell out of here. Responsible ones, but I guess that's the whole problem. Wait, ain't like it was just about the footprints, no how. You were seen fraternizing with one of them there monsters, ain't that correct, young man? About the young lady over there, if I'm not very much mistaken. If we're gonna get anywhere with these two around. Thank you! Kick them out! I'm getting so heated over this. Maybe if we could prove to them it wasn't a monster. Maybe if we can prove to them it wasn't a monster either, they might finally drop it. What do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? Any bright ideas? Prove that it wasn't a monster. Fine. I don't suppose there's much else for it. Let's see what we can do. Also, I can bet you this is America that this is supposed to take place in. What are you two whispering about? Y'all are hiding something, ain't ya? Admit it! Quick, Tabby, roll tape!
Hold it!
She's so hard still. Can I politely ask that you both calm down? The monster boy was seen talking to? We know what it was. We know what it was now. Huh? That's right. Sean's rehearsal tape finally cleared up that particular mystery. It did? They switched places. The point at which Miss Nichols thought she saw Sean with Gordy. That would have been right around when he was making his rehearsal tape. I think she mistook a certain object for the legendary creature of the lake. Your so-called monster is right here in this picture. Huh? I don't see no Gordy. That ain't nothing but a dumb snapshot. Yeah, you ain't nothing but a dumb dog. You're talking to a pro here. Can't fool me with no trick photography.
Take that!
Oh, she got the finger. She got the finger wag. You're done. That's right. It was a camera frame. That is what Miss Nichols saw, not Gordy. What? What? Okay. Okay. Just okay. Sean's rehearsal tape was shot from a noticeably elevated viewpoint. Viewpoint that would have only been possible if the camera in question was attached to a crane. Cool. How the heck would she make a mistake like that, huh?
Objection!
She's blind as hell. That's how. How? Miss Nichols. Yes? I suppose that you think you might need new glasses, didn't you? Yeah, my eyesight got way worse all of a sudden. All of a sudden? Girl, that's not good. Somebody who used to wear glasses and it's got worse. I had to drop some money to make sure I don't go blind. and I imagine that when you thought you saw Gordy, he was quite heavily shrouded in darkness. That's right. I really only saw a silhouette. But you done told us. Skin like an enormous worm, you said. Y'all about to try and tell us your precious crane up and grew skin somehow? Ain't even no flesh on them there metal bones, let alone skin. You're entirely correct, of course, about the crane as it was in this particular picture anyway. But it did have a skin of sort last night. I knew you were a scoop hater, but this is plumb crazy. You want Tabby me to starve, is that it? No, I want you two to get the hell out of here. I'm getting so mad at these two fictional characters. Okay. That wasn't my intent at all. But I do think it's time I finally put them both out of their misery. Please do. Gordy's skin is right here in front of us. It wasn't skin at all. It was this. Okay. Stop with the words.
Take that!
Miss Nichols told us that it seemed likely to rain last night. That never happened in the end. But I think Sean may have covered the crane with rainproof sheeting nonetheless. That, my intrepid young reporters, is what Miss Nichols mistook for Gordy's skin. What? Ah, heck. Well, Sean, am I mistaken? You see everything, don't you? Gotta say, you're pretty amazing. Thank you. Thank you, kid. I'm sorry, Miss Hart, but Miss Nichols' monster was no such thing. It was simply a trick of the light. Just like that, the dream dies again. Chief? Hey. Bye-bye. Okay, bye-bye. You can leave now. I think I may have finally shut them up. I thought the kid was holding out on us. But it seems I could have maybe been a little wrong, maybe. Okay. That's improvement. Alright, we know that you know what the so-called monster was now. Everybody happy? Everybody except these two. Agent Lang. The president's autopsy report is out, sir. It is? Let me see it. Death was due to full body contusions and bone breakage caused by an extreme pressure from above. So we have our cause of death. It was crushed. Just as we thought. Test results still haven't come back from the yellow substance found on his chest. They did find gunshot residue on his right knee. Gum shop residue? I guess he was a kid at heart, huh? Gunshot residue, okay. It's a substance left behind when a firearm is discharged. Girl, she is not stupid enough to not catch that. That felt like a weird scripting choice. Its presence indicates that the president may have used a gun. Really? We didn't find a gun anywhere, did we? We did not. Which makes the residue something of a riddle. We'll need to read that report carefully. Well, Agent Lang, that clears one thing up at least. The president didn't die from a fall, which means he wasn't pushed from the roof of the big building. He was crushed by the falling Torosaurus head, just as we said he was. Guess I have to accept that now. Fine, you were right. Amazing. So does that mean Judge Gavale isn't a suspect anymore? Suspect? Surely it must. Both the cause and time of death rule her out. She met with the president the night before last. The autopsy report puts the time of death at around 11 p.m. last night. And we know that the Taurus head fell around then too. The facts all line up perfectly. Phew, what a relief.
Not so fast!
Sorry, it might be a little too soon to celebrate. Sure, I think we can accept that the falling head must have been what killed the president. That begs the question of what could have caused it to fall. Or who. We know what happened late last night, so we have to think about who was here at that
Overruled!
What are you getting at exactly? You can't mean. I'm afraid I do. You did it, didn't you? Sean. The kid's hiding something. He was right here last night, right where the body was found. He saw the footprints. And yet he wants us to believe he knows nothing about what happened? That's a big ask, sure.
Objection!
We haven't yet established that the footprints had anything to do with the murder. So even if he did see them, that doesn't mean he was involved.
Welcome back!
Maybe not, but his face tells me different. As is the fact that he's shaking like a leaf. I don't think Sean's going to talk. Fine, keep your mouth shut, kid. I have a better idea. Why don't we let your tape do the talking? What exactly are you planning, Agent Lang? Police have some pretty sophisticated image analysis tools these days. You would go to such extreme lengths to see my son convicted? Not ideal, but if the boy won't talk, we don't have any other way of getting to the truth. Detective Gumshoe, you've access to exactly such a device, do you not? Sure do, Lil V. Good. That should make this nice and cool. Mr. Edgeworth, might I request that it be you who carries out the analysis in question? Why me? I fear that Agent Lang might be inclined to believe the worst. Analysis isn't exactly my speciality. Are there any
Eureka!
What the? What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? Let me see. Yeah. What is it? What's the matter? Show me. Mr. Edgeworth, the court asks you to share your findings. Zoom in on the top right part of the image and look closely. There's a person there. It's the president? Oh my. What? You're kidding, right? Well, I'd say that's pretty decisive, wouldn't you? Doesn't look good for Sean at all. Wait, this doesn't prove anything. I didn't know he was there. I don't believe you. And this image does in fact prove something very important. That you and the president were here at the scene of the crime together. Admit it, kid. You murdered President Wang. No, that's ridiculous. Why? Why would he? Sean, you didn't. You can't have. Can you? What do we do, Mr. Edgeworth? It's hard to push back against footage like that. Surely even you can't deny that this looks pretty bad for the kid, Mr. Prosecutor. He claimed he knew nothing about what happened. But the president is right there with him. Sean, what are you not telling us? We have to know. He's right, Sean. Be honest now. It's the only way. Truth is, it was all my fault. Sean, what did you do? It It was my fault the Torosaurus head fell off of that trailer. I went on the roof of the trailer to prep the kit I was using. And I turned on the heater while I was there. I must have left it burning when I came back down to run my lines. Then my mom called and I left the set to go talk to her. When I came back after the call, the Torosaurus head had fallen from the roof and the president was just there, lying next to it. No. We did find evidence of a fire having broken out on the roof. It was just a tiny one, so I put it out myself. So we're saying the president died because of Sean? If he did, that would make this whole thing just an accident. What did you do with the head after you found it on the ground? I took it apart, carried the pieces up to the roof, and put it back together.
Not so fast!
You're saying you put out the fire and moved the head back to where it fell from? In other words, you tried to cover up your tracks. You're a real piece of work, kid. It's not like I did any of this on purpose. I really did just forget to turn the heater off. Yes, and when the fire had burned through the legs of the table... Yes, and when the fire had burned through the legs, the table would have collapsed and the head would have fallen down onto the ground below. You're right, the fire caused the head to fall. Indeed, and I also happen to have an idea about how the fire might have started. Those cans of paint thinner by the heater are pretty flammable. Not a great place to keep them.
Not so fast!
And you swear it was an accident. Inconvenient. What was the president even doing here in the first place? How the heck am I supposed to know? I didn't see anybody. I swear. I still don't believe it. Why would President Wang come to a place like this in the middle of the night? The reasons for coming here are something of a mystery. It's true. I met Judge Gavale up on the roof 2 nights ago. He was also here on the movie set last night. Did he come to meet Sean? I think we'll need to go over the boy's statement very carefully.
Hold it!
Did you notice anything unusual about the body? I don't know. It was dark. He suddenly seems even more reticent than usual. I don't think he wants to go back over that memory any more than he has to, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm sure he doesn't. But is that really all it is? Push him a little more on this? It was dark, but you knew it was a body nonetheless? That's... He's hiding something. Better find out what. Most people would cry out for help if they saw somebody lying on the ground, yet you didn't. Yeah, because what was the point? He was dead. Like you said. What I'm interested in is how you were able to be so sure. Why were you certain that he was dead? He was lying on the ground and that cute head was right next to him. It didn't take much to figure out what must have happened.
Objection!
You couldn't have guessed that the impact would have killed him. How did you really know? I'll tell you how, because you checked. Fine, and checked, okay? I was scared, but yeah, I went up to the body and I looked and he wasn't breathing. That was right. When I try to hide it. Could you tell me how the body looked at that point? I couldn't tell if he was dead at first. There was no blood or anything, so it was hard to be sure. Nothing on his clothes either. He was completely clean. But yeah, he wasn't breathing. So that's how I knew he was dead. Thank you. I'd like you to add that statement to your testimony if you don't mind. It's not in court.
Objection!
Nothing on his clothes? Nothing at all? Yeah, nothing. Why? Is there a problem with that? There's something you're clearly hoping that we'd forgotten. What are you talking about? There isn't. That's not true. Unluckily for you, we remember it rather well. I'm talking, of course, about the yellow speckles on the president's chest. You studiously avoided mentioning them throughout your testimony. In absence, I find suspicious, to say the least. I hope for your sake that you have a satisfactory explanation.
Overruled!
She's on. Hit the other side. Judge Gavale? Allow me to explain. You put yellow residue on the president's chest. I imagine it was from a bouquet of flowers. Lion lilies, to be precise. Lion lilies? 2 nights ago, when I met the president on the roof of the big building, I presented him with a bouquet. They're a type of lily with large yellow petals. I imagine that the substance on President Wang's chest was pollen from those flowers. Huh? But they're not there in the printout from the security camera. Only because the president isn't playing. But why give him flowers? That is not something I am at liberty to divulge.
Not so fast!
What? More secrets? Are you serious? First you wouldn't tell us why you met with him, and now you can't even tell us about the flowers? My sincerest apology. But all I can tell you is that I gave him the bouquet.
Objection!
A bouquet that was nowhere near the body when it was discovered. How do you explain that? I cannot. Seriously, Your Honor? Some things you won't explain, the rest you can't. Come on, you gotta give us something. You wouldn't let this fly in the courtroom. What makes you think we'll accept it? What makes you think we'll accept it? Hey, you leave her alone. Just Sean. I threw the flowers away, okay? You did? So they were there when you first found the body? Yeah, they were right there on his chest. They were squashed completely flat. Oh. I guess that makes sense, right? They would have gotten crushed along with the president. The pollen would have been smeared across his jacket front. That does explain things rather neatly. But why remove the bouquet and dispose of it? Reason? It's as evasive as his mother. 4 secrets? They're quite a pair.
Overruled!
There is no secret. I know exactly why Sean disposed of the bouquet. Huh? You saw me leave the house with it, didn't you? Oh, I get it. saw the flowers on the president's body, you remembered seeing your mom with them. And felt the need to prevent her from coming under suspicion. No! You've got it all wrong. That's his least convincing. I often decorate our home with lion lilies. I imagine that's why he remembers.
Not go back!
The flowers his mother was carrying showed up on the president's body. Because of that, he got rid of the bouquet and kept quiet about having discovered the corpse. Well, that ties everything up nicely, doesn't it? A little too nicely for my taste. See, I think I'm more confused because... What? Why? What's wrong with nice? I guess you forgot, huh? The kid also told us he was responsible for the head falling in the first place. Yeah, he did. But he's still our only suspect.
Objection!
Our suspicion still seems to be pointing firmly in Sean's direction. However, wait. I can think of a far more likely culprit than the boy. What? Who? The person who was holding Sean captive until only a short while ago. That's right. We had to rescue him from a warehouse refrigeration unit down by the harbor. A refrigeration unit in a depot? Yeah. Luckily it wasn't switched on. Poor kid might have frozen into a popsicle otherwise. He was doing his best to call out for help, which is how we found him. The sedatives had worn off by then, so he was wide awake and plenty loud. Sedative? Is that what you were given too? Yep, we found the bottle on the floor of the unit. It was even the same brand. Reese's. I remember. Apparently it's super strong. Well, Agent Lang, surely that suggests Sean is a victim, not a suspect. Somebody else was responsible, and I think they've been behind on the
Not go back!
Oh yeah? And this secret mastermind of yours was here last night too? That I can't yet say. It's not like you to be so vague, Mr. Prosecutor. Sadly, we just don't have any prior mysterious kidnapper to the murder of the president. Somebody else. Sean, who could have... Of course. I was right. The kid is still our only suspect.
Objection!
Not quite. I can think of another. What? Somebody who we just recently proved was right here on the movie set last night. Chairman Winner. You think he killed President Wang? Why not? We've proven that he was present. And if he was here, he's as viable a suspect as anybody else, wouldn't you say? There? He really had. It's certainly another possibility to consider. 12 years ago. That number again. Look, a lot happened, okay? This was all 12 years ago or more. My father and the president being friends, our family being the ones who kept him safe. Lang? Like the Lang from 12 years ago? Yep. Good to see that you're finally about to pay for your crimes. Even if it did take a while for you to get what was coming to you. Agent Lang, what happened 12 years ago? Nothing to do with you. I think it has everything to do with me. It's clearly connected to
Not go
us.
back!
And you can prove that, can you? Go ahead. Show me some proof that what happened 12 years ago has anything to do with this. Proof? If you can't prove it, this conversation's over. Let's reflect each other. Recent events of 12 years ago. report about Bronco Knight. It was sent to Chairman Winter by Warden Lagarde. This last part in particular should be of interest to you. Retrieve the package we laid to rest 12 years ago in front of the planter. And that's not all. Take a look at this. This letter was sent to Rosie Ringer, the victim of a murder that happened the night before last. We don't know who sent it, but it does say this. Good luck getting your revenge for what happened 12 years ago. What? But something strange is going on, Agent Lang. Miss Ringer was murdered the night before last, and President Wang not long afterward. There's a connection between the two murders. There has to be. I believe we can trace that connection to events 12 years in the past. Am I wrong? These are old wounds you're opening up here. It's insults to my family name. Please, Agent Lang, we need to know. Who on earth was that? Shifu! Huh? What are you all doing here? We came to find you, sir. We heard you were looking into the incident from 12 years ago. Idiots! I'm not your boss anymore. Get back to your duties right now. We can't do that, sir. What? You're disobeying a direct order? Please, sir. I'm begging you. We all are. You have to reopen the investigation into the SS5 incident. You know you can't let it go until you figured out what happened, and we can't either. Well, Agent Lang, it seems your former underlings want the events of the past explained too. You think it's that easy? That you could solve the case just like that? I think we can. Together. Huh. Well, alright then. Offer accepted. Yes, Shifu, 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 Shifu. Nice, then I guess it's my turn to step up. I'm sorry, Kay? You're looking into a case from the past, right? I just happen to have something that'll help with that. Ah, you mean Mr. Thief. I sure do. If you give me the details of the incident, I can rustle up a little simulation for you. Sadly, we don't have the files relating to the case. Huh? How come? Access to those files is restricted. They're top secret. Really? Why? Beats me. Somebody must have something to hide. Even I've never seen them. Everything I know, I read in newspaper articles from the time. That's fine. Tell us what you can. Alright. The SS5 incident happened on a winter's day 12 years ago, February 10th to be precise. Your police received a call directly from the kidnapper. I've got the president of Zhengfa. So he was kidnapped? Yeah, SS5 is the official designation of the president's kidnapping case. The kidnapper wanted $100 million. Girl, same. $100 million? How much money even is that? More than you can imagine. The last person to see the president that night was my father. They were together at the embassy of Zhengfa until midnight on the 10th. Nobody knows what happened with the president nobody knows what happened with the president after that until he was kidnapped. Our government did everything they could to scrape together the money. They were desperate to save him. And in the end, they succeeded. The money was handed over and the president came home safely. So, President Wang was head honcho even back then? Wow, go Mr. President. Nah. The length of time he stayed in power isn't even close to the most impressive thing about him. Agent Lang was clearly very fond of President Wang. I assume the kidnapping was thoroughly investigated? It was, but the investigation was top secret, as was the trial. The trial? So a suspect was arrested? Yeah, none other than our friend Fifi Lagarde. What? Is that why you visited the prison? It is. I was put on what you might call extended leave from Interpol. I thought I'd use the time to look into what happened 12 years back. And I wanted to see who I was dealing with. She was found not guilty then, wasn't she? Yeah. My father was in charge of the president's security at the time. They held him responsible for the kidnapping and stripped him of his duties as presidential bodyguard. He stayed on the force, though, and he worked the case alone until eventually he found a suspect. The guard. And if he thought she did it, there's no way. Oh, and if he thought she did it, there's no way she was innocent. But they declared her not guilty and the case went cold. My father couldn't take it. He was broken mentally and physically. Finally, he quit the force altogether. So he had solid grounds to suspect Warden Lagarde? He must have had evidence. He wouldn't have charged her otherwise. But I've never been able to see the materials from this case. I'm sorry, but that's all I know. What do we do, Mr. Edgeworth? This is useful information, but I don't think it's enough for Little Thief to create the scene. Really nothing we can do? You look like you could use a hand. Who's this now? Ah, Fender and Franny. Francisca. And Mr. Fender. Finally wrapped things up over at the courthouse, so we thought we'd see what you kids were up to. Here. What's this? It says SS5 Incident Investigation Report. When Fifi Lagarde mentioned an incident from 12 years ago earlier, I couldn't help but wonder. So I decided to look into it. This is what Interpol provided. Nice work, Francisca. Don't get the wrong idea, Miles Edgeworth. You're no longer a prosecutor. I didn't do this for you. I did it so that a colleague could solve his father's final case. I'm that if you don't know. Heard on February 10th, 12 years ago, the president of Jingfa was kidnapped and ransomed for $100 million. The president's presence in embassy until midnight, confirmed by the prosecutor in charge, Excelsius Winner, suspect Fifi. I don't know if that gave me that much. Oh, you sis. But everything related to the SS5 incident was supposed to be top secret. Yes, but that classification was applied by the prosecutor in charge of the case, Excelsius Winner. He was the prosecutor in charge? Him again? Don't worry. Due to the outcome of this morning's case, he's been stripped of his authority. An outcome that was in no small part thanks to the efforts of his own son, Eustace. So in defeating his father, he made the old case file available to us? Sounds like we owe him. Prosecutor Eustace Winner was busy wrapping things up after the conclusion of the Lagarde trial. But he asked me to give you a message. Leave Dad and Lagarde to me. You focus on your case over there. Huh. He's even starting to sound like a prosecutor. Indeed he is. Alright! Now that we have the case file, I can recreate the scene, no problem. Excellent, let's get started. According to the file, the incident occurred exactly where the plaza is now. What are we waiting for? With me, everybody. Why are those two still there? Why are they still there? I don't... Why? of course they here. They are not important in this case. It's fine. It's fine. I'm getting worked up again. This is fun. Alright, Kay, if you could set Mr. Thief in motion. Sure. Looks like there's more than enough here to work with. Where do you want to start? Good question. Let's see. It seems there was an eyewitness, a freelance journalist by the name of Alf Aldown. I'll fall down. I'll fall down. I'll fall down. Yeah, we're gonna go with I'll fall down. Okay, hold on. Let's see what his name was. Also, he's fully gonna be Alf. I'll fall down. It was Jack Cameron. But apparently, he was killed by the culprit for witnessing the kidnapping. So this is where he saw it all happen, huh? Here? As in the big building? No, construction of the big building only began a year ago. They built that whole building in 1 year? Holy hell. Before that, it had been a piece of abandoned property. And before that... now we're getting to the stuff on that. 12 years ago, this place would have been... the Happy Family Home. What was the name of it? I'm sure it had a different tone. Actually... like, for retired people? No, it was a place for children without parents. Orphans, in other words. The president was kidnapped from an orphanage? Yeah, the place was run by Fifi Lagarde. She called it her happy little home. As the proprietor of the institution, I suppose it's understandable that she came under suspicion. President Wing, Excelsius winner, and Warden Lagarde. Surely the SS5 incident must be related to our current case. Okay. Did you enter the data relating to the murder of Mr. Aldown? Mr. Aldown? I don't know how I want to emphasize it. It's either all down or all down. I think it's all down. We're gonna go with Mr. Aldown. Aldown? Aldown. Seems sensible to assume that he was killed by whoever kidnapped the president. So if we solve the murder, we solve the kidnapping. Nice. Alright. We're counting on you. And we all fall down. Jack. Oh, Lord. Oh yeah, he did. What the heck is this? When did I grow to become so blasé towards people's reactions to Mr. Thief? What we're seeing here is the front yard of the orphanage as it was 12 years ago. At least as far as the police reports describe it. Yeah, this is how it looked when they started investigating at 7 a.m. the morning after the murder. And it seems it had been snowing. Yeah, from what I heard, the footprints wound up being pretty important evidence. The snow fell in the daytime of the previous day. In other words, before the incident occurred. Meaning that none of the relevant footprints would have been obscured by any snow. I think we'll need to pay these footprints some special attention. Turtle and a bunny and did with the brick. Alf Alden. Alf Alden, man who witnessed the president's kidnapping. What exactly did he see? Based on this part of the recreation on one crime scene photos. Well, I based this part of the recreation on one of the crime scene photos. It seems he suffered a blow to the back of the head. His shoes look like they're way too big. Yeah, from that brick right there. They figured it must have been taken from here in the yard. It's like the blood flowed from the head and spread over the surrounding area. Here, a gift for you. This is Mr. Alldown's autopsy report. Alf Alden, freelance journalist. Killed after witnessing the kidnapping of President Wang. Even in the recreation, it's pretty gruesome, huh? Even worse in the actual crime scene photos. That's a lot of blood. It seemed mostly to have come from the back of his head, and as you can see, that area is completely caked. Yeah, and head wounds bleed a lot. If you've ever hit your head on something and like let it open, it's gonna bleed. Yeah, the autopsy report says that's where he was hit with the brick. Indeed. I imagine his attacker must have snuck up from behind. Must have snuck up on him from behind. It's as though he's clutching something in his right hand. Oh yeah, they mentioned that in the file somewhere. Let's see. According to this, it was a button. A button? Torn from the attacker's clothing, perhaps? So the victim was carrying a camera. Oh yeah, according to the file, they recovered a picture. Yeah, here we are. Oh! Okay, yeah, I see. It's the president, right? Somebody pointing a gun at him. Must be what Mr. Aldown witnessed. So the person in the trench coat is the kidnapper? Yes, I imagine they were trying to conceal their identity. But if Agent Lang's father's theory was correct, the person wearing that trench coat is Warden Clark. How come they only found the one picture? He probably wasn't able to take any more before he was attacked. This was the brick used in the murder. There's stuff made of bricks all around the yard here. They probably took it from somewhere nearby, huh? This cell phone must have belonged to the victim. You're right. Yeah, it says here in the file that Mr. Aldown made a call while he was watching the kid. A call? To whom? His girlfriend. It seems like he called her when he saw that the president was here. But she didn't pick up, so he left a message. That's in here too if you want to hear it. Please. Hey, Rosie. It's me. I guess you're asleep already. Anyway, I'm here at the orphanage. Something weird's going on. President Wang is here for some reason. And there's another... Damn it! The light's out. So I can't quite see, but... It looked like he was being... kidnapped? Anyway, probably nothing. But I thought I should let you know... What was her name? Yep, Jill Crane. So they were Jack and Jill. Just so much better. Instead of Alf and Rosie. What were these sounds at the end? What were those sounds at the end? He must have been attacked while he was still on the phone. Agent Lang, can I ask you something? Mr. Alldown's girlfriend, what was her name? Ringer. Rosie Ringer. At least that's what I heard. Just as I thought. Wait, you mean her revenge for what happened 12 years ago? All Miss Ringer was left with were the memories and personal effects of her lover. So, seeking revenge on Chairman Winner, she made her appearance at the auction. So she really was out for revenge on Chairman Winner, wasn't she? Perhaps it was for his suppression of the kidnapping. Or perhaps it was because she thought he was one of the kidnappers. Now doesn't that hoot? Dropped a yellow flower here. I think this one symbolizes the desire to steal treasures. Yeah, you can't just make these things up. What we can say is that it looks to be different from all of the other flowers in the planter. Oh, easy. Huh. So what's it doing here? What indeed? We should examine the planters too. I must be right. Somebody must have stolen it. It's a stolen treasure. Okay. I think this one might actually symbolize the growing anger of a former prosecutor. Oh, are you fucking kidding me? Weird. There's no logical connection between it told me to fucking do it. Oh no, it didn't. Planters. According to the case file, the yard stretched around 3 sides of the orphanage. There were 3 planters on each side. Yes, planters arranged in a very particular pattern. It's one we've seen somewhere before. Shame there aren't that many flowers. But I guess it was the middle of winter. Yes, but look at that one. It's bright yellow. Weird, how come there's only one? Wait. Okay. Somebody dropped it. That's a lion lily. If I'm not very much mistaken, a rare member of the family Liliaceae. Listen. Plant and animal names, like species names, it's that word, Liliaceae or something. I'm not. Liliaceae? Yeah, I'm not good with like the genus and all that stuff. A lion lily, you say? Wait, didn't Judge Gavale give President Wang some lion lilies? What's the same flower doing here? This can't be a coincidence, can it? I believe this particular cultivar is from Asia, where it's said to symbolize the bond between parent and child. I wasn't aware that you were so knowledgeable when it came to flowers, Francisca. What I just told you is common knowledge. Perhaps you need read a little more. Common knowledge for who? See, bitch, you cannot just be making this shit up. I'm getting kind of tired. Like the paragraph was like this big that I'm trying to read. So that's what our monstrous hoof prints really were. Wait, what? Look how the arrangement of the prints. You'll compare that of the planters. Whoa! That's right. I believe the footprints are located exactly where our planters once stood. The chairman winner was digging around the front of them. Was. Why might he have been doing that? A piece of evidence in our possession that answers exactly that question. Which piece of evidence? Bloody clue.
Take that!
Recall, if you will, the report that Warden Lagarde sent to Chairman Wiener. In it, she mentioned something that had been laid to rest in front of a planter. You think she was telling him where to dig? Hey, but why 3 holes? The report didn't specify which of the planters she meant. I get it. So he wasn't sure which one it was. Which means he had to try and dig up all 3. I imagine so, yes. Poor Chairman Winner. Well, why go through all that trouble? What was he looking for? There are burn marks on this pillar here. The report says there was a fire sometime in the evening of the incident. A fire? Let's see, where was it again? Yeah. One of the orphans set a fire with some kerosene. Sort of a prank, probably. They sound like a lively bunch, possibly too lively. Means their antics spoiled our chances of finding any footprints near the entrance of the building. These footprints stop by the body. Guess that means they belong to Mr. Aldown, right? These feet were pretty big. What's that? About a size 12? According to the file, they were the same size as his shoes. It's a match. These footprints go toward the body and come back. According to the case file, they're thought to be the killers. They're about a size 9. Pretty average in appearance. It seems the police weren't able to track down who the murderer was from them. Covered with snow. Is anything the matter, Agent Lang? Yeah, something's not right. I wasn't able to look at the case file until now. Indeed, you have Chairman Winter to thank for that, it seems. Yeah, what's weird is I've seen this scene somewhere before. What? But where? I keep thinking I've got it, but then it's gone. He appears to be lost in his efforts to remember. Perhaps I should leave him alone for now. I think that's about all we can learn from the scene from now. Alright, how about I try to show you how things looked earlier on that night? That'd be very much appreciated. Take us back to the moment at which the victim witnessed the kidnapping. Sure, I'll use the photograph he took. Here goes nothing. all down in the middle of the planters. There's the president and his kidnapper out by the road. My father based his investigation on the evidence Aldown provided. That was why he thought the kidnapping and the orphanage were connected somehow. And how he wound up suspecting Fifi the guard. He was the one running the orphanage at the time. Exactly. When the case went to trial, Excelsius Winter put a big hole in that theory. I'm getting tired. He did? Yeah. After all, the president and the kidnapper weren't exactly on the grounds of the orphanage. Hard to conclusively prove any kind of connection. They were never seen inside the gates of the orphanage. Detectives bust a gut to find evidence on the scene, and prosecutors come along and twist it from their own ends. Winter and the guard were working together. They had some kind of deal, I'm sure of it. You're saying that Chairman Winter was working with the kidnapper? Yeah, he's got kidnapping on his rap sheet from just earlier today. Your father was convinced that the guard was the culprit, correct? You say he was a gifted and thorough investigator. And he must have had more to support his theory than just Mr. Aldown's message, surely. Yeah, he must have. I just don't know what it was. It wasn't exactly a case he liked talking about. Agent Lang's father. The Long Lang. Trusted ally and confidant of President Wayne. He discovered truths that were subsequently suppressed by Chairman Winter. Our first priority should be to find out what they were. Ding ding. If Chairman Winter was involved in President Wang's abduction, it seems likely that whatever he dug up yesterday had something to do with kidnapping. Oh, I get it.
You do?
Bet I do. We're talking treasure, right? Loot. Must have been digging up the ransom money. Ransom money? $100 million is an awful lot of cash. Carrying it would have been a good way to keep it hidden until the heat died down. Certainly does seem like a possibility. Yeah, glad you agree. Scour the scene. Hey, that snowman. It was melted in the simulation of the morning after the murder, huh? That muffler was all wet, and the little button eye had fallen off. Eyes had fallen off. Indeed, it still looked reasonably healthy at this point. Although not entirely, I could see one thing that's missing. Oh, poor guy, I bet some kid took it off as a stupid prank. Not a bad piece of thieving, though. Maybe they had potential. You think one of the orphans took it? I'm not so sure. In fact, I think it was grabbed by somebody else entirely. So they have it on.
Eureka!
This snowman is missing a certain something, wouldn't you say? Yeah, his right eye. Indeed, luckily we've managed to locate it. The button Mr. Aldown was holding. Look at that, it's the same type of button as the other eye and everything. And if we suppose that the button was indeed the snowman's missing eye. Oh god, excuse me. That presents something of a contradiction. clutching the button. The button was covered with his snow. Covered with his blood, which means he must have grabbed it after being attacked. Let's run a little hypothetical, shall we? What if after being struck, Mr. Alden lost his balance and reached out to grab something to steady himself? The snowman wouldn't have supported him if he would have pressed the button and kept falling. Get it? So you're saying he was near the snowman when he was attacked? Yeah, and arm reached him. He's currently nowhere near that close. Right, but his footprints only go as far as the planter. He never came back this time. What if they weren't his footprints? I think we need to look at all the footprints again. Alright, I'll take us back to when Mr. Aldown's body was found.
God, how much is left of this? I'm falling asleep. So much left.
But the footprints on the left definitely matched up with Mr. Aldown's shoes, right? So what's the deal? Let's take another look and see if we can figure it out. I must scour the scene and inspect everything that catches my attention. These shoes, as they say. So these shoes, as the case file says, they match the footprints, but... Huh? These aren't the victim's shoes, I'm sure of it. What do you mean? Look at how the laces are tied. Don't they look a little strange to you? What's more, they don't seem to fit properly. So these prints, they go right up to where the victim was found and stop right by his feet. They didn't actually belong to him. So are the prints by his... That his? Ones that lead away and come back? No, I don't think so. When neither set belongs to him, then how did he get here? Easy enough, he didn't walk. Carried by the killer. Then where did the murder take place? Over by the snowman, as we suspect. Down the body was moved. How else do we explain the button collection? And that would suggest that he was killed somewhere near the snowman. Better take a clue. Right. Huh? Look, there's a missing brick here. The rest of the brickwork looks just fine. Strange that just this one is missing. Ding, ding, ding. It seems quite likely that the missing brick was the one used in the murder, wouldn't you say? Caught a brick. Yeah, that would do it. Oh yeah, now that you mention it, they're exact same shape and size. Okay, sure. I think we have to conclude that the murder actually happened over by the snowman. Right, the button came from there, and the brick too. Indeed. What's more, if the murderer took the brick from right by the snowman, and then tried to sneak up on the victim all the way over by the planters, Mr. Aldown would have seen them right away. Exactly. I think we need to update the simulation, Kay. Mr. Aldown wasn't standing by the planters, he was next to the snowman. Gotcha. Alright, here goes. Yeah, no matter how you look at it, this just doesn't work, huh? Indeed, everyone who was present is in exactly the same spots. So where did we go wrong? One of the pieces of evidence which we based our simulation must be the source of the problem. What if one of them was faked somehow?
Take that!
Really be certain that this picture was taken by Mr. Aldown? Huh? What do you mean? No, that whoever killed him moved his body. But why would they have done that? They wanted to make it seem like he saw something he didn't. And then they took the photo to help back up the lie? They had the president at gunpoint. They easily had forced him to pose for the picture. You would have had no choice but to comply. Hey, now that you mention it, they only recovered one picture from Mr. Aldown's camera, right? Indeed, I imagine his killer probably moved the film that was already in there and replaced it with another, thereby ensuring that the picture found was the one that staged. Yeah, that makes total sense. This picture was actually taken after Mr. Aldown was killed. No way. Now that picture doesn't show what Mr. Aldown saw at all, it's highly likely that it was simply staged to make us believe. Wait, so where was the president when Mr. Aldown thought he saw him being kidnapped? Luckily, the photograph is the only piece of evidence we can use to try to figure that out. Hell yeah! We left that voicemail too. Listen back to it. Oh. Surely the place where the president and his kidnapper could have been standing.
Take that!
Recall this statement from Mr. Aldown's voicemail. Damn it, the light's out. Two of the lights here in the yard are broken. Yeah, he must have been talking about the one over by the building. Alright, could you please update the simulation to reflect everything we've learned? Sure! There we have it. The kidnapper was really standing over by the building. Which would certainly have strengthened the theory that they were connected to the orphanage. So they moved the body and staged the photo to distort the picture painted by the voicemail. Which helped them undermine the idea that the orphanage was involved when the case went to trial. Now that certainly changes what this particular part of the simulation tells us. Imagine it will also affect our understanding of the scene from when the body was found. One way to find out. Ready to make the jump? To search between the two recreations, I need to first press X. Okay, I know how to do it. Want me to show you the scene as reported in the police's case files, right? Okay, let's take another look at how things were when they found the body. And there we have it. Blood on the snow. A lot of it. It certainly looks as if a murder occurred here, doesn't it? Wait, we just figured out that Mr. Aldown was killed over by the snowman, right? Good. I think this blood might belong to somebody else. What? The police report said the blood was Mr. Aldown's. Did I remind you that the case is overseen by Chairman Winter? The man would have had no scruples about altering the official record over something this small. But then why go to all that trouble? Couldn't you just cleaned up the blood stain by itself? He wasn't able to. Think about it. is where the police would find Mr. Aldown's body. The police would have certain scientific methods at their disposal to look for clues. Oh, you know. Yeah, they would have found traces of blood if they used that for sure. Exactly. He would have been able to clean it up to the point where it was undetectable. Far easier to falsify the results of such tests when they came back in. It would simply have been a matter of replacing the official results with a doctor copy. Yeesh. We've been looking at a forgery this whole time? That sucks. Wait, but it says Mr. Aldown's clothes were covered with blood too. It does. And if they were, which seems entirely believable, it suggests that whoever's blood this is wasn't yet dry when Mr. Aldown's body was placed here. I get it. Which means that the other person's blood was spilled not long before Mr. Aldown was killed. I think it does, yes. If that's the case, isn't that something of a contradiction?
Eureka!
There's a clear contradiction here. Huh? In the bloodstain? The blood is clearly cut off where the snow was melted by fire, which means that the blood in question was spilt before the fire was started. Huh? The fire happened before the murder, no? If we choose to believe the case file, yes. The fire was actually set after what happened here. The kid who lit it might have seen something. Then why isn't there a witness statement? Because that would have challenged Chairman Winter's version of the events. We need to know more about this fire. You. Yes, Shifu. The fire might have been reported to the police, which means there might be a record of it. Let's see if they have anything and bring everything you find back here right away. Understood, Shifu. I'll get right on it. One more thing. What is it, Shifu? Contact my family back in Jingfa. Tell them to search my father's office. There should be something there related to the case. For sure? What kind of something exactly? I told you I'd seen this scene somewhere before, didn't I? Well, I remembered where. It was in my father's office. He had a picture of it, or at least something very much like it. What? It looked like it was drawn by a child. Possibly a child from the orphanage. Possibly even the child who set the fire. It should still be there somewhere. Tell them to send it right away. Yes, Shifu. I want one of those. Those are cool, but I don't know what I would do with it. Shifu, I'm back. I brought everything the police had on the fire. I also brought up the picture from your father's office. Oh, and one more about time. What kept you, huh? Well, hand it over. Let's take a look at this mysterious picture, shall we? Oh my god. Yeah, y'all see what I do too, right? This is it. This is the picture I remember. Could this be a depiction of something that could have happened the night of the incident? Sure looks like a kid drew it, huh? Yes, and I'm willing to bet it's the work of the child who set the fire. Shifu, there's... What now? Look, it'll have to wait, okay? Well, Mr. Prosecutor... Why do you think my father kept this? I imagine he acquired it at some point during the investigation, although I have no idea why he would have chosen to keep it to himself. Did we see a case file from the fire too? Sure, here. Just give me a moment to read through it. before he started the fire, snuck out of bed on the evening of the incident, and disappeared several days later? What? Must have been because he saw something, right? No, a kid? Really? That's horrible. Sadly, not unimaginable. Huh? Looks like the kid left something behind that was put into evidence. But what's this? That's... What's it doing in that case file? What is it, Mr. Prosecutor? Have you seen this somewhere before? Something very much like it, yes. We have a piece of evidence that could well be connected. Which item? Do I have the...
Take that!
I don't know what it was doing in the evidence for that case, but it looks like that might be the missing horn from this soft toy. Hey, that was President Wang's. You've seen it before? Of course. He always kept it somewhere close by. I remember it because of the missing piece. I see. It has a special device inside it that plays recorded sound when you twist the horn. Hey, do you think maybe putting the horn back might unlock more recordings? Yeah, you never know. The toy itself should still be up on the 51st floor. Hey, you heard the man. Yes, Shifu, I'll go fetch it right away. Here it is, Shifu, the Torosaurus doll, just like you asked. Good work. Hand it to the prosecutor over there. Well, does the horn found at the orphanage fit the prison condition? It fits perfectly. And any more recordings on there? Hi, Dejun. Sorry, President Wang. It's me. I'm Amelie. Amelie? I think it's Amelie. Hold on, I got this. I've seen that name before, but I know I've never been able to pronounce it. Amelie. It's me, Amelie. I know it's been a while. I saw in the news that you were visiting the country soon, and I didn't know whether I should get in touch at all, but in the end I decided turn it off, right now! What's gotten into Judge Gavale? Are you okay? Just turn it off, please! You see, I had a baby. A beautiful little boy. You're beautiful. I'm sorry. That's pretty much all I wanted to tell you. Oh, except I called him Sean. Sean Fenn. It has a nice ring to it, don't you think? No! Sean Fenn? The kid? Oh, her name's Emily Fenn? Oh, it sure is. What was her name? Amy Marsh. Alright. The kid? And also that, I'll be at the orphanage on the evening of the 9th. I'll be waiting in the front yard. I thought you could meet him if you like, even if it's only just this once. I know you're a very busy man, but anyway, that's so... Goodbye. What? He was my dad? So sorry, Sean. Care to explain what the heck is going on, Gavale? That could have been hell. Sean isn't my biological son. Well, no shit. You're 13 years apart. I adopted him. And he was aware of this? Yes, of course. His mother, Amelie Fenn. She died 5 years ago. We were cousins. We were also friends, the best of friends. People often mistook us for sisters. And so, when she died, it seemed only natural that Sean should come and live with me. Of course, we had to keep his father's identity secret. And I decided that the best way to do that would be for him to never know in the first place. That's quite a lot to learn from a recording made on a seemingly innocent toy. I guess Sean's mother must have recorded the message and then sent the plushie to the president. Hey. Yes, Sean? You're sure? He was really my dad? Yes, I'm sure. Before you were born, your mother worked for a time as a diplomat in Zhengfa. Makes sense, that line of work. It will have brought her into contact with the president. What? You told me she worked at the orphanage. She did, but only after she returned, after she quit the diplomatic service. She always loved helping others. The orphanage was perfect for her.
Not so fast!
Sorry, Judge Gavale, but I have to ask. Amelie, the lady who asked the president to come, why didn't she show up herself? Why isn't she anywhere in the files related to the SS5 incident? She never made it to the rendezvous that night. Someone was tailing her. I'll bet that was Chairman Winter's doing, though sadly we can't prove it. And because she couldn't make it, never saw the president again. She died 5 years ago. This can't be easy, Sean. Hey, Sean? Are you thirsty? We can go get a soda. My treat, okay? Come on, I think I saw a vending machine over... You think I can't buy myself a soda? This is important, and it's about me. I'm staying. Oh. Well, that didn't work at all. Good try, Kay, though. Sean, perhaps now you can guess why I met with the president 2 nights ago. So that's it. That was the big secret. I wanted to tell him face to face that Amelie was gone. But also that you were alive and well. More than that. But I... Makes sense now. Well, it makes sense now. No wonder Judge Gavale was so keen to avoid sharing the details of the meeting. Yeah, she would have to share the truth about Sean, too. That was why I took the lion lilies with me. So there would be no doubt that I knew Amelie, and that I knew her well. Those flowers bore a special significance for the two of them, you see. President Wang gave Amelie a bouquet of lion lilies in the early days of their romance. But now, too is dead. If only he had lived, Sean might finally have been able to get to know him. Shifu. I've been waiting for the right time to say this, but what? What is it? You've been hovering there for this whole time. Can it wait? They sent something else from Zhengfa. President Wang's will. What? The president's will, huh? He gave my father medal after medal. They had to come up with new ones just for him. In the end, there were no medals left to give, so he made us keepers of his last will and testament. Medals? That duty? They're our greatest pride. Our family jewels. What? This is... What is it, Agent Lang? Does it have anything to do with our current case? You could say that, since he was planning on publicly acknowledging Sean as his son. Sean's name appears in the president's will? And we're certain that the document is authentic? That President Wang wrote it himself? Sure we are. It's old, but it's real. My family took charge of it back before the SS5 incident happened. They'll want to analyze it back home to be sure, but I'd stake my name on it being the genuine article. Wang was a renowned world leader. A child who nobody knew about would have sure to have caused a stir. He chose to mention the child as well. Yes. Well, that's that, I guess. I still can't quite believe it, but the president confirmed it with his own hand. There's no denying it. Sean, you're President Wang's son. Sean! Oh shit, there he goes. Sean! Ooh! That is a doozy. Alright, how long is the rest of this? Okay. Alright, that was Turnabout for the Ages. Part 3, I think. Ooh, excuse me. I did not get much sleep last night, so I'm gonna go take a nap. So if you're watching me on Twitch, I will see you later tonight. If not, then I will next week on YouTube. Thanks for hanging out. I will see you all later.